Hi, this is Barbara, the East Coast Dragon Lady, coming to you completely off schedule, completely unplanned. Um, it's Tuesday, was it Tuesday the night? Oh, it's 9, so it's the 9-9 portal. Oh, so that's like had complete. Oh, so it's the 9-9 portal, and I was wondering why. So I've just come back from my walk. I decided to go out this morning early for my walk because I've got a busy work day, so my computer is here. On my walk, I was listening to Nikki Allen, who's a UK psychic, and she was talking about the blood moon. She's also somebody that suffers with chronic fatigue and some associated illnesses. And while I was listening to that, while I was walking, I started to hear things about me. And when I came home, so some of them were, I have like I said the other day, sometimes I think I have adult ADHD now. I just think I've got a lot of incoming. So I may have to look at that. But the message I heard clearly, I've got a cat here, you are trying too hard. And I was like, I'm trying too hard to do what? And it was like, you're trying to do too much. And even though I hear that, and other people that see, not just in my spiritual practice, but I work full time, I'm well over retirement age, but I still feel I've got a lot to give in the area that I work, and I don't feel ready to retire. But then there's another part of me that loved those like 4 days that I had off where I didn't have to plan anything. And then I got very motivated to plan a trip away with my son. Um, and just knowing what it feels like, I think there's part of me that is also scared, like, what am I going to do if I don't work? But that's all for me to sort out. But then while I was thinking, I kept hearing, you're trying too hard. People are trying too hard. And then I started thinking about how so many people, like 10, 15 years ago, really felt drawn to Reiki. And now there's another shift to the quantum field. And it's like so this is how I'm feeling. This is just me speaking. And that's why I'm going to call this like Real Talk 2. So I'm feeling like the spiritual market is being saturated. I've had this conversation with a few of you, not everybody, but it's being saturated around dragons, which is awesome. There's absolutely nothing wrong with it, but it's almost like, and probably because I'm in that bucket more than any other, for lack of a better word, but in that sort of pool of dragons. But then my dragons are telling me, you need to step somewhere. So I took a side step, and I've been sort of in the quantum field learning about quantum healing, past life regression. And then I've got sort of feelings like it's being commercialized. And again, I've had conversations with a few of you, and people are feeling the same way, that certain modalities are being very highly advertised, highly commercialized, and people that do similar work are saying it's not all that you're being told, right? So I'm hearing it's an illusion. Now, I don't necessarily prescribe to any conspiracy theory. Whenever it's like, as soon as I start talking, I think because I go into the high vibration, it's like bleh, the words don't come out sometimes. One of the things that I do know, the other part of me, and I talked about this in my previous video and other videos, about how I've avoided doing inner child work. And I think there's another thing that's just come up for me. I found a book that spoke to me. Some of it is totally irrelevant because both my parents were narcissistic. My mother was the narcissist, and it actually got worse as she got older, and after my father died. So that's a whole other thing. But I think, so I know there's going to be a lot of stuff coming out. That's what I'm feeling. But now I'm realizing it's the 9-9 portal. So that's just opened. So I then got this overwhelming feeling and heard, are you good enough? And I was like, yes, I am good enough. But then it's like old patterns. So that's what's coming up. So this night, I have not read anything about the 9-9 portal, but for me, it's like old patterns and old stories. So people that have worked with me, people that have been in groups with me, people that have experienced my readings, my Dragon Reiki, any of those things, or you just know me, all tell me that I'm doing really good things. And then that voice at the back of the head goes, but are you really good enough? Are you really good at this? Because it's not, I'm really good here, but I'm not seeing, for me, I'm not seeing results. And that's where they're saying, you're trying too hard. So I'm not, because I'm not sure what, I base it on what I see other people doing. And I guess I haven't found, I keep thinking I found, oh, this is the path. But I think I may be going through, and this happened to me a few years ago before I came back to my spiritual path. I took about a year. I just said out loud, I'm just going to see where this year takes me. It was January. And I went on a meandering and I, touched the things over here, joined a group over here. When it didn't speak to me, I stepped away. I took big strides. I connected with few people that I'm still connected with, but in a certain community, I didn't feel that was speaking to me. And I think that has got a lot to do with our personal ascension. So as we start, and I think because things are falling away from me, that I may be feeling this, and I think the blood moon and this 9-9 portal are sort of big portals, right? And I've talked about portals and what they can mean for us. I was told, again, going back to this, are you good enough? Like that question, are you good enough? Are you really good at this? Because you're not. And I've had people say, you're not seeing the number of people. You're not doing this. You're not doing that, because that's how they view, are you doing good enough? And then there's part of me that has lived with that criticism all of my life, from very young with my mother and then into my marriage. And I'm very tough on myself, and I recognize that because I've always got that little voice that says, but are you? Right? So I guess that's what I have to sit with. I also pulled 3 cards from the Akashic record deck that I have, and I just asked the question, what's going on? So scattered energy, no big surprise. Take the high road. So I always do, but I think this is a personal. I need to take the high road. And what I'm hearing when I asked, and this is my higher self, I was told, I was like, well, who's giving me this message? This is my higher self saying, you need to stop worrying about, are you good enough? Because you are good enough, and that should be enough for you. Stop trying so hard. Like, it's okay for you not to do things. It's okay for you to have pain that you can't give away. It's okay for you to be tired some days. It's okay that what you call lazy, it's okay. It's okay to have a day like that, because when you give with your heart. And so that was a message for me that I just channeled, obviously. And that's, I think, what they're telling me is this is for you to understand that you can connect to your higher self very easily, because those thoughts that we get are coming from somewhere. Sometimes they're external, right? Sometimes it might be our guides, it might be the dragons, it might be whoever. The dragons are going, we're just there to hold you. So there's another. So I've just come back from a walk and now I'm hot. I was freezing this morning. I don't know, about 40 degrees, I think, here. this morning. It was cold. I live in a condo and the heating hasn't gone on yet. So it's like I've got multiple layers on here. Now I'm hot because I'm talking about spiritual things. So scattered energy, and then honor yourself. So the scattered energy, the message is you have too much on your plate and have lost your focus. That's just what I said. This is causing you to feel exhausted and overwhelmed. Prioritize your well-being and create a new plan. So that's going to be number one on my list. Take the high road. You're on an impasse with a relationship or situation. It's now time to think bigger, release desired outcomes, and take the most positive course of action. That's also what I said. Honor yourself. Recognize the hard work you've put in to get wherever you are today. Instead of thinking how far you still have to go, remind yourself of all that you've accomplished and be proud. So I think they're all things that I talked about. I just had a visual flash of about how after I've been divorced 25 years, and I actually had a house, and in 2008 when the market crashed, and everything ballooned, I had to walk away from a house in foreclosure. So when I say I've been there, this was like literally I was working, but I wasn't earning enough money. I was working full time, but not enough money to help cover everything. My kids had graduated from college, child support ended. It was all financial. It was all way too much, obviously, for me. And that was when I had my first lesson of being exhausted and not being able to function. Actually, the first one was after I'd packed up a house, gone through the divorce, moved, and then my body said, "You're not going anywhere." And I had about 4 months where I literally was in bed in a lot of pain, like I had a flare up, I had an inflammatory disease, nobody could put their finger on it. And then after I had to walk away from my house and accept that there was absolutely nothing I could do. There was no way that I could refinance like we can now. There was absolutely nothing I could do. So I was completely powerless, and I had to build myself up from there. And what did I do? I turned to hard work, right? I was working 2 jobs. I worked for a mobile crisis team, and during the day I did 1 job, and the evenings I picked up extra shifts. I worked on an adult psychiatric unit. I did triage. I did anything that would bring money in, so that I was in survival mode. But now when I look where I am today, what I have today is all me. Nobody helped me. Nobody gave me any money. It was me and my hard work and my kids' hard work and trust in me. So I do have that in my life that I have to be thankful for, because I learned many lessons on the way, because I could have stayed in an unhappy marriage and I would probably be an at-home bored housewife with grown kids, and my spirituality would not have developed. So I have to be grateful for that. But tough times. So I think that's what that card, that's what this is about. It's I just heard Nikki say that with the blood moon, it was a portal of bringing up all of our things that we needed to examine. So maybe that's why I was listening to it and all this has come up. But interesting that it's the 9-9 portal as well. So I'm not even sure I'm going to post this. I just needed to get it out. So it's coming up for lunchtime for me, but it's sort of in the middle of my work day, and I just was like, I'm sure there's more people that are going through it. I was certainly given a lot of information very quickly about asking for help, like going to people and asking for help, asking for guidance. There's so much I can do, but sometimes you need the external they're saying external confirmation. So whether you go for a reading, whether you go for a healing, it's getting that external confirmation. The same with my lower back pain, which one of the reasons that I try and walk every day is it helps my lower back. But when, like at the weekend, when we had so much rain and the pain index on Sunday was extremely high, I think it was high over the weekend, but Sunday it was off the charts. And a lot of people were saying they were feeling the same. And I just give it, like, you literally not give in. They're saying, no, that's not the word. You just have to go with it, right? If it's a crap day, then it's a crap day, right? But it means the next day is going to be better. And I think I used to say this years ago, like, I wonder what the lesson is in that. And I guess I used to say a lot because my older son said to me one day, Mum, Mum, shit happens, right? And I'd be like, yes, but what's the lesson? And they used to laugh. They used to think that was funny. But I do think that in all of these things that happen to us, there's lessons in it. And I've learned to listen to my guidance. So I am going to look at what am I trying too hard to do. There's clearly something here for me to give. Certainly my connection with the dragons. And they're nodding, they're saying yes, and the fact that I'm remembering other past lives on other planets, and I'm still the connector. So Merlin jumped in and said, don't forget you're the connector as well. So I can connect you with so many things, whatever it is that's coming in for you. That's part of who I am. I mean, they're saying this isn't something I can necessarily advertise, but a lot of you know that you can come to me to get the answers. Yeah, that's what they're saying. And they're saying, just keep selling yourself like I do when I come on here, because I watch other podcasts, and I still sort of think, how do people get to, 2 million views? How do people even get, I'm happy with, when it goes over 50. So if this speaks to you, or you know somebody that would benefit from just hearing somebody talk about what it's like or about your higher power, maybe I should do some more, because this is something new for me. I used to think, like a lot of people do, that I couldn't connect with my higher self. And I think it took me doing the trance channeling or doing some of that hypnosis work, which is what I'm thinking. I'm meant to do that, but I don't think in the QHHT way. That's just what came to me. It's like, I'm not rushing. I don't feel that urge to, I've got to get people to do it with, I've got to go and do level 2 like I did with level 1. And I'm here, they're saying to me, you probably don't need to do it. But I do know my friends out in Western Mass, we've talked, and I may do some connecting with them later this year, and do some learning with them, because they're level 2s and they're doing some other similar work using hypnosis, but not restricting it to only in person, which I don't think works these days, because so many people want the work done, but they haven't got time to spend 4 hours. So be on the lookout for what comes next. If you're interested in connecting with me, you can go to my website, which is www.eastcoastdragonlady.com, or you can email me at eastcoastdragonlady@gmail.com. So let me know if this speaks to you. Let me know if you're feeling any of this, and connect with me. I know somebody took me up a couple of weeks ago on my 45-minute clarity call. That can be, you can bring a question to me, a dragon question. I did a reading for the last person because that's what I was guided to do. And it was another connection for me. So nothing's ever wasted, is what I'm hearing. They go, there's no such thing as like you connect with somebody and you go, no, my energy didn't, or, this is a really good connection, and you never know when you're going to come back to it, or if you connect, what you're going to do with it. So again, thank you for watching this. Thank you for following me. If you want to join my Facebook group where I do, I put my cards or my reading for the day, and then I do a weekly sort of roundup and a reading for the week. And if anything on the 99 portal comes to me, or I see anything, I'll post it on my Facebook page. But if you go to my website, you can actually connect to my Facebook group through there, or email me and I'll connect you. So have a good rest of Tuesday, and I'll be back soon.